You know, you're saying to yourself, run. Why aren't you out? The other tanks, I do this about once a week. The little sponge filters in there. This one here. Oh boy. In my garden anyway. A little bit. You guys gotta just chuckle now and then. You know, you're saying to yourself, run. Why aren't you out in the garden? We're supposed to be planting tomato plants. Spoiler alert, they're planted. We're gonna go take a look. I had to get a bunch of stuff done to get it caught up. So got those in, we'll take a look at those, and we're gonna look at the cucumbers too, or we're gonna actually plant those, and we'll talk about that a little bit. And before we do that, I got the fertilizer thing I got to take care of here, and that's why we're downstairs here. We're going to get a bunch of fish fertilizer, so we're just going to run through real quick and we're going to squeeze all the sponges into like a gallon of their water. So let's see, we'll probably end up with about 5 gallons of it. That might be about right too, because I'm going to throw them in on the tomatoes right away, I think. And then I'll show you that little contraption that we made for out there. We got a lot of stuff to look at here. It's a long list of things here, and we got not enough time to get it all done. So, with that in mind, there's just one little cleanup stuff from before. I told you one time about a guy named Harold Coleman. Harold Coleman had a place called Clear Springs Aquarium Shop out in Minnetonka, Excelsior, somewhere out in there one time. But what was so interesting about him is that he had been around in the old days, you know, like way before there was really any kind of an aquarium hobby going on. And he had one, and he was selling fish to some folks, and so he was doing it, and he was doing it really, really early, back in the 50s and 60s, maybe even earlier than the 50s. When I bumped into him and knew him, it was in the 70s, probably late 70s. And he had this place that was not immaculate at all, and his aquariums looked terrible, but they all were very healthy water and healthy fish. He had pretty rare fish. He used to boast about, you know, he had a pilot in Africa, you know, flying into special lakes, you know, bringing out certain fish for him, you know, so you'd have the rarest ones, and then he'd take you over and show you in a tank he had a real rare one, but he had to kind of look through the algae that was growing, and there it is. But yeah, he had some cool fish. I used to like to go in there to buy my brine shrimp eggs. He had a source for that, and that was a real cool thing too. He had the best in town, best in the world. He's one of those guys. So I did like that. I do recall, though, I was standing there one day at the counter buying some, and you know, I noticed there was a few cockroaches in the place, and the place was probably built in like 1405 or something, you know. All right. Oh, you know, it's old. Sell cockroaches, yeah, I suppose so. And we're standing there then, and we're doing our little transaction, and all of a sudden here comes a nice, good size one right across. I think he was walking right across the money I was laying down. You know, so I grew up out on a farm, working on a farm. Bugs are no big deal to me. My dad and I, we just like to let them pass, let them do their thing, get out and get on with life, and then we leave them alone, they leave us alone. That's how it goes. We don't kill bugs, only if they're biting you. So anyway, but Harold, he's there. He sees the thing going. He's got an IB on it, and gets his flicking finger out, and he gives that baby a ride, you know. Then we just go back to doing the thing, you know. And nothing like, hey, sorry about that, pal. I got a few cockroaches. Or, you know, maybe, see how far I got that one that time? You know, no. Just nothing. Just kept around going. Like, anybody does that, you know, all the time. Well, I had to tell you about that. That was Harold. Really quite a character. Gosh, if that guy were alive today, he'd probably be 130 years old. So it was a long time ago. So it's kind of a neat story from a long time ago. Well, there's that. So now we're going to be cleaning these sponges out here and getting us some good fish fertilizer for the garden. We're going to be putting manure on, you might say. Fish manure. This rocking chair, by the way, I got no idea how old that thing is, but my mother had it, and I think her mother had it, and then my brother fixed it up once and kind of restored it, and It's really old. That's all I know. It's kind of an old rocker, but I don't think it's anything too special. All right, well, let's see what we can do here. Well, this particular tank here has got the little cherry shrimp in it. And there's a bunch of little tiny babies in there, and you just wouldn't believe how tiny babies are. There's the sponge cleaning protocol. And there's a whole bunch, you know. I gotta get you up here to see if you can check out these cherry shrimp here. Hang on a second. There's that big one there. There's some on top of the sponge. Well, let's get down to the bottom here. I got this kind of a close-up setting here, but I'm going to back it up a little bit. But there's absolutely, whoops. There we are, we're back. These camera buttons aren't very handy. So anyway, these are cherry shrimp. And these guys have been having babies. And I just don't think there's any way that you would possibly be able to pick up one of those babies out here. So tiny. We'd have to hope to see one jump. I mean, they're really literally the size of those little specks down there. Anyway, we're going to grab their filter. I only had to pause for a moment because I thought it would be kind of fun to show you the cherry shrimp. All right, I'm going to get their filter out of there and hopefully not suck any babies into there while I'm taking it out. But it's got to be cleaned anyway. We're overdue. Love to sit here and watch them. I have to move this top. The babies that are in there right now, they're going, what the heck? Oh, they're all kind of doing that. So what I'm going to do is see if I can shake them off. You know, a guy should get some water in there before he gets out. So we're just a little backward, but not too bad. See the siphon thing? Hi, you guys. We'll just be a minute. Don't worry. You had to have a little change. Oh, they get a little water change here too. I think we dropped their food in the back. I'll have to get that. Boy, and I have a whole bunch more that are full of little ones. Okay, that's going to be a pretty good amount of water right there. I don't know. I think you guys can see some of this, but I can get down here with you and start squeezing this thing. And it actually takes a little while to break it free and get it out of there. If you just did it once or twice and think you had it, you don't. Now the water's starting to turn brownish. You can smell the, well, it's got a smell that it's kind of familiar with fertilizer, I guess you might say. We're messing with that nitrogen cycle now a little bit. I'm being fairly aggressive with the cleaning because I want to get all that goodness in there for the garden. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a lot of fertilizer in there. That'll work out really well. Full of nitrogen. And this thing needed a little fertilizer, or cleaning, not fertilizer, yeah. Needed to be cleaned. So there's one done. Okay, you guys, look out. Don't be underneath here right now. I'm going to set that down. Oh, there's a little baby there, but I didn't set it on. Alright, you guys are good. Got to return a little water there. I'm using both rainwater and hard water in this tank. It's well water. Shrimp can't take all that full RO type water, which is what rainwater is, pretty much like distilled water. That water will pull too many minerals and elements out of them and cause them to have a difficult time with their skeleton, their outer skeleton. You see the shells all the time from the bodies. It's like a snake dropping its skin, but it's a shrimp dropping its outer shell. I have no idea how often they do it, but these guys have been doing it lately. Okay, So that's that. Now this one here, I'm going to throw this into this bucket here. We're going to be utilizing that. And we'll get another camera angle here. Okay, here comes some more. We kind of got to get outside. Yeah, these have definitely been a while since I did them, so they're long enough anyway. And I feed quite a bit in here because of the number of fish, so I did clean these tops the other day. You can see how they look pretty clean. I think you can. Have them soaking in vinegar for an hour or so. And you just scrub them a little bit, and they're good. They come clean. You know, this other filter up here is going to have quite a bit in it too, probably. These fish are biting on me. Hey, you guys. It's kind of not really a bite, but more of a, why don't you throw some food in here for us? They're like dogs that way. All right. Once again, we need some water in there. I should double check. You guys seen this already? I should think so. You don't have to worry about sucking up anybody in here. I gotta show you these guys. Maybe could I do that a little bit? Oh, they're so pretty. Okay, that's about enough of that one. Let's see how much junk we get out of this one. I think it already feels like it's got a lot of stuff in it. If you have sponge filters at home, if you aren't hitting them a lot like this, then you aren't getting them clean, or you aren't getting the excess, the real junk out of there that you want out. Whew, man. I'll try to see if I can show you this water. This is a good one. I didn't clean this one too long ago either, but this tank gets a lot of food. There's lots of fish in there. I think I got like 60 or 70 guppies in there. And see them all just, come on you guys. Let me show everybody who you are. There's quite a few. And again, that's what I'm doing is I'm raising guppies. Most all these in there. I'll be going to a pet store here pretty soon that I go to all the time. Sea level. That's the name of it. I couldn't tell you if that's in... It's on Hopkins Crossroad. I think it might be Minnetonka. I think. Sea level. You get my fish. I say they get, maybe they help me out and take them, you know. No, they do. They give me credit for it. Store credit, you know. Pays for the food and stuff. All right. I'm good at that. Okay. Now, you know what? You see that? That was clear water before that was in there. Jeez. We have got some good stuff coming. All right, next one. All right, everybody get back. Look out now. There's some little babies in here, by the way, a couple of them. And you know if they live in here, I'm not trying to save anybody out of here, but there's some females in here and they'll have them anyway. And right now there's two of them in here that have made their way. There's one right by my holes right now, kind of. Another one right up above there. Are you ready to stay away from this? Oh, that's enough anyway. It's almost too much. a little carried away. That's okay. Yeah, two little guys in there. What are you guys all doing? Alright. Guppies are so cute. They don't last very long though. A little susceptible to disease and stuff, you know. It's just best to make sure to keep a healthy environment for them. Helps to do that. Of course. They love this fresh water too. I mean, the water in there is okay, but when you throw the fresh, good stuff in there, clean, boy, they pick right up. It seems like their color kind of jumps out all of a sudden. I test the water, so I know it's not that bad. All right, we got one more here. This one we got to kind of pull out from down in the Mariana Trench. See if we can pull all the junk with it that's sitting underneath of it there. Just got to go slow. Yeah. All right. Get that junk out of there. Let's see how bad this one is. My other tanks, I do this about once a week to the sponge filters in there. This one here is probably every other week. It's a big tank, and I have 4 filters on there, so. Oh, I see more babies. Wow. I can see 4 of them now. You guys see this one? Oh man, that's the darkest of them all yet. Wow. Yeah. That's some good. You know what? I should really look at one of these sponge filters quick. I think I will, but I'll use this tank's water over here. I know you can see this net thing in here. I've got some expectant females trying to catch some babies right now. I could stand a few. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just keep taking some more in here. So I have my school of females, I'd say. And every now and then I'll see a cute boy over here and I'll say, you know, I like your genes. I'll throw them in with the girls for a while. Yeah, this thing was pretty dirty. I just wanted to kind of, I'm not going to clean everything or I'll bump into that cloudy water thing. I got another one over here I won't touch. I just had to see how dirty those are. There's 8 in there. 2, 3. Sponge number 4 coming up next. That's the same water, so I'm going to go with it here. The fertilizer harvest continues. Well, the plan now is throughout the summer here, as we are working in the garden and working here with the fish, when they clean their filters, I'll be saving the water for the garden. And now, let's see, I'm going to use these over here. Can you get it in the couch without looking? I think so, I can feel it. It stayed. Right on the edge. I don't know if you guys got that or not, but there was an old hook behind the back. Throw it to the couch. And I made it. We're going to be outside before you know it here. We just had to have this fertilizer.
That's a big part of what we got cooking here. Oh, I see some little babies. Hey, you guys are supposed to be over in this net thing. So just don't get eaten up until you can get over there. I wonder if I could scoop them out. Might be able to. Who's having babies? Not you guys. How are you? Yeah, how are you? Ooh, a whole bunch of them in there. Oh. I'm glad I took a look. There's a bunch of babies up here. Couple more. Boy, somebody's having babies. And they weren't getting over to the net. Might have been that they thought that there was kind of like a no man's land over there. Hey, don't eat those babies. Jeez, I think somebody's just sitting here having babies while I'm doing this. Look, I don't have time for this right now. You know what I'm going to do? Change this up a little bit here so that this plant is close to the net thing. And maybe those babies can get in there. Yeah, you guys get away from there. Let those babies get in there. I see another one. Oh gosh, there's a bunch more down there. It's surgical. Catching these poor little guys. Yeah, come in. Like I said, I hope I'm not catching the ones that I already put in there. And they're coming back out. Don't come back out. Stay in there. See if I spot any more here real quick. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if I pulled that up there too close, it might bring that back a little bit. Give it a little room. Oh my, there's a whole bunch in there. Gosh, I'm sure glad I took a look when I did. I heard it fall down. There's a little back in here. I could see it. I see it. Oh, there it is. Now I see it. How am I going to get back there and it's full of cobwebs? Great. Oh, yeah. Don't you just love reaching in somewhere and coming out with a handful of cobwebs? That's what we're facing here. That what I want is way back in there. Well, you know what? I think what we'll do, they have, when they're born, they got enough for 24 to 48 hours right in their yolk sac, and that's still on. So they'll be all right. Trying to get an excuse here, because we got to get going. We don't have time for this malarkey here. All right, we don't see these two aquariums very much back here, but in this one, I just cleaned it the other day. I'm inclined to, well, you know what? I throw a lot of food in there. I think we'll go ahead and get that, we'll get them. Thank you. I'll tell you, that group of fish is probably, I'm guessing they're about 4 months old now. And they're all born around the same time. In that tank that we were just fishing some babies out of. That's where all of those came from. Gotta keep. Come on, you guys. Everybody up. Come on. They know who I am, I'll tell you that. They let me pick them up and everything. And if there's somebody else down here, they're not even going to come up. They might, but only if they see they have a food can or something there. They get to know, fish know who you are. Can't fool you guys, there wasn't anything there. They're looking for food, of course. Alright, well, let's get going. We have to gotta get outside here. Come on. Okay, everybody stay in the tank. Nobody in the hose. I see now these guys are nibbling on me too. I think I've heard of some places where you can go and they've got, you put your feet into the water and there's guppies that come and pick on your dead skin, I guess. Now, I gotta just end that early because who hasn't had this experience? I have two hands that are busy and I get then the itch of a lifetime on my nose. Yeah. It always works that way. If your hands are tied up, you're gonna get the biggest itch you ever had. All right, you guys, let's get that filter out of there before I throw some water back in. All right, it's a sponge filter, but it's a smaller one for a 10-gallon tank, so it's a little different. This sponge too has got a different texture to it. It's kind of interesting. You see, I have no life if I think that's interesting. Yeah. I like math too. That happens, yeah. It'll happen. Numbers. I should say I like numbers. I mean, I'm half German, half Norwegian. I don't know if I should count or clean. So I got a lot of issues that way, but yeah, counting numbers, all that, that's good. My dad was counting stuff all the time. He was the German, my mom the Norwegian. Back probably before 1970, nationalities were still quite a thing. Talked about more, especially from that place. I came from southern Minnesota. And nationalities all had separate kind of communities early on. Germans lived by Germans, and Norwegians, on and on. They all had their own church. And then the wars brought them together, you might say. Probably one thing that they were responsible for is bringing people together. They stopped being individual nationalities and became Americans. And then guys that never hung out before did down at the VFW and the Legion Club, and now they're buddies. And then they died buddies. All because of wars, oddly enough. And before that they would they would fight in the alleys, you know? Just because they were a different nationality. Jeez. This one here, I have no fish in right now. And that's because I need some more babies to raise. This group I have over here, if that would have been more of them, I'd have put them over here. This is just a finishing tank over here. The center brace broke, so I can't fill it up all the way, or the side bows out and it'll break probably at some point. But I can have about half full, and that's still quite a bit of water. Wow. Hope I didn't get a good draw on that. I need to clean this thing out because I haven't got any fish in it. I haven't paid attention to it too much. I feed the snails. Come on now. There it goes. We got her. I'm just going to pull up some of this garbage in here too. The brace had broken. Oh, I tell you what, it won't last forever that way. Here's another one that just feels really, really grimy. Oh boy. You can hear that dog barking up there. Okay. That's it. Yeah, I don't think there's any snails under there. Whew. Nasty. Great fertilizer. Well, here we are. We'll get you caught up here now. We've got them as come in here this way. Gotta hang on to something here. There we go. Oh, excuse me, that almost go down. Did you catch that? So what we got going now is we're going to put in the cucumbers. I got myself some of these jugs here, and we did that, you know, here I am, got ahead of you a little bit. But the tomatoes are done. We'll take a look at them in a minute. And I got jugs in there for those guys. So that'll work out. But now we're going to put in these guys. See what the soil's like here. Oh, it's not too bad. A little moisture down there. Good to know. Cool. And I got a mint in the old mouth here. I hope that's not going to get it. Okay. The type we are planting is Arkansas Little Leaf. I had these last year, or you know what, it was actually the year before last. Oops, you know what? I was about ready to throw a little pot down there. You don't want to do that. You gotta take it out of the pot. But I had these Arkansas Little Leaf, and I noted that they seem to be a little bit more blight resistant in my garden anyway. Each one of these guys is going to get a pail with water, or a bucket, 5-gallon jug. Jeez, this lower ground's a little tough down here. The next thing we're going to do is put these jugs in real quick. Water them, get hay, straw. You know, I was saying that on the last video, I was interchanging those two. This is straw. We got no hay back here. Hay is green, made from alfalfa and other pasture grasses. That's what the cows eat. Horses and such as that. I'm gonna get a shovel. Okay. Let's start digging. So we'll want a jug about here. I got just on one corner, 3 small holes. And the goal is that slowly puts water down in there. I wonder if I want it a little deeper, probably. I'm good with that. Sweet. That'll work. One more of those. Perfect. 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 My neighbors are probably saying, what's he up to this year? Oh, he's been watching YouTube. Well, of course. Where else do you learn all this stuff? Whew. Okay, there's that. Now, we need to get some water in there. I'm really curious now. I only have 3 little holes compared to the multitude of holes, the bigger ones that I had before. Just how long it'll take for the jug to empty out. Didn't quite have enough to fill it. We'll see. Cool. Oh, hi there, red-winged blackbird. It's me mixing fertilizer. Fish poop. Well, it kind of settles a little, you know? I suppose the grass that's right around here will grow around this. I'm threatening to fill that jug with this, but I want the fish water to go around. Okay, looking good. I had an old timer ask me one time if I had the time, and I didn't. I didn't carry a watch. I was in a place where I didn't have the time. He goes, well, what kind of a moron are you? You know, I don't very often drag out the old college degree, you know, but he said, well, I said, I do have a college degree. Oh, so you're an educated moron. Really? Really? The guy's like 90-some. Hey, come on. Come on with me. I had to leave the guy alone. I mean, what are you going to do? Never been in a spat in my life. I just don't do that. That looks right. For now, I'm giving... That's good. Whew. All right, it's probably gonna have to do it. Oh yeah. Well, we should recap. We do have the tomatoes in, the onions in, the potatoes in, and the cucumbers are in. Yet to go, I've got 3 rows of carrots and some flowers. So I'll probably have to come tomorrow. No, there's supposed to be some storms tomorrow night, I guess. So we'll be looking to get this done then in the morning, probably. It should be a little nicer out. And then we'll be good to go. So kind of exciting. Got this new thing going on here. I'm kind of anxious to see how it goes. Need to put a little straw over there on top of those cucumbers yet too. I might get out here yet after I pick up my wife and put that on there. So we're in good shape. I'm liking it. All right. That's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching again. We'll get another one out. It's kind of fun. I kind of enjoy it. Showing you guys what's going on here. If you think somebody else might enjoy it, we'll share it on. You know, let's do that thing, see what happens. It's kind of fun. People that know me know I love to talk. So this was good. There's nobody there to take the audience, or the audience away, or whatever. So it works out. All right. So anyway, we'll get to know each other. Have a good day. We'll see you again.